are working on a new way to stomp on vulnerable kids in public schools, is the headline by Marissa Higlins over at dailycoast.com. Republicans, she writes, know their tried and true method of getting constituents to the polls is to scare them into voting. And, you know, this is true. Democrats come out and say, hey, vote for us because we're going to build new schools, we're going to build new highways, we're going to get broadband into people in rural areas, we're going to expand we're going to get more people registered to vote and participating in our democracy, we're going to expand Medicare, we're going to expand Social Security, we're going to make life better for Americans. Republicans get people to vote by saying, oh my God, look out, they're coming for your school, they're coming for your kids, it's communism, it's socialism, it's gay people, it's black people, oh my God, hair on fire. And here we go. This is a brand new one. It's just amazing. As reported by the Iowa Starting Line, which is a Iowa newspaper or blog site, the Skylar Wheeler, who is the chair of the House Education Committee in the House of Representatives for Iowa, has introduced House Bill 112 into the Iowa legislature, which would create a system whereby parents, students, or right-wing cranks could report violations of their anti-CRT, critical race theory law, that is already on the books. The Iowa legislature has already passed a law saying it is illegal for a teacher in Iowa to teach critical race theory. Well, as you probably know, if you've ever listened to this program, critical race theory is something that is taught in college, in law school. There are a few other colleges that are not law schools now that have started adopting courses on critical race theory. And it's a deep dive, it's a deep dive and historical analysis of how structural racism has impacted, race in America. There's not a single elementary school in America that's teaching critical race theory. But, the right-wingers have just, so anyhow, they put this into law. So basically what they mean now, they've reinvented critical race theory to mean any discussion of the history of violence against black people by white people in this country, basically. And so now any public school teacher who remotely touches on race or systems of oppression can be fired, can be fined, or, the real goal of this law is scared into silence. The House Bill 112 would allow folks to report any suspected violation of a public school teacher covering topics including racism, diversity, inclusion, and sexism. People who want to complain about a teacher can log on to the Iowa Department of Education's website to report the suspected violation. The Department of Education will pass the complaint along to the local school board, populated by Trump humpers. The school board will have 2 weeks to respond to the violation. And if the school board doesn't correct the violation, in other words, fire the teacher, the school district could face a civil penalty of up to $5,000 and with a minimum of $500. So they're putting teeth into this law. Is it any wonder why it's so hard? Every state in the union right now has a shortage of teachers. Some states have shortages of teachers in the thousands. Classrooms are getting, larger because of this teacher shortage. The colleges that have teacher education courses that teach teachers how to become teachers are seeing a drop in enrollment. Why? Because you've got an entire movement, the Republican Party, the conservative movement, that basically doesn't believe in public education. Ever since Brown v. Board in 1954, ever since the Supreme Court said public schools have to be integrated, there has been this conservative backlash to that, trying to move kids out of public schools and into segregated private schools, particularly religious private schools, but also just plain old good old-fashioned right-wing private schools. And Betsy DeVos, as our education secretary under Trump, was one of the leaders of this movement, continues to be, among others. This is just so wrong. Do you have kids in school? Are you concerned about this? Or grandkids in school? I have grandkids. My oldest grandchild is going into kindergarten this year. What does this mean to you? We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 202-808-9925.
I'll pick up your phone calls on the other side of this break. Stay with us.